Alright, so hello everybody. For those of you know, my name is William. Okay. Now today I want to show you something, okay? Now, for the many people that believe that Sarah Becerra is going to win the general election, well, that might be true on a scale, but only God knows the future, anyway, and not these people, and that's why. And you have to look at the policies they're having here. That's why. Regardless who wins in the November election, that's why. So I'm voting for Steve Hilton, and so is my family and friends. I'll be voting again in November, even though I don't know who's going to win until November, because God knows the future, right? Only the Bible does. And it is true that California is a blue state. And saying the Republicans can't win California is just saying the Democrats can't win Texas. I'm going by that because, that's why. Well, let me see. Okay. As I tell, as I was telling you something about the Bible. That's all. That my reality is only on the Bible. But I was going to say is, come on. Alright, so if you want to know, and here's Steve Hilton's good policies versus Xavier Becerra's bad policies if you want to know them. Yeah. Right here. You can read right here if you want to. Okay? You know. Right. So yeah, Steve Hill wants no income tax, but Xavier Becerra wants high taxes. Gas prices. So you see, he wants gas prices to go down to $3, and then, but here's what it is. But yeah, Xavier Becerra would keep that. So electric bills are 30%. What, Mom?
Found it. Yeah. Right on the floor.
Anyway, I just got the clothes out of the dryer anyway. What I was gonna say is, so yeah, slash bureaucracy, wasteful spending, yeah, that's why. And then there's, so yeah, there's a vision I got of expensive waste, and diversity, variation, non-citizens, enforce laws of self-homelessness. The highest income opportunity. There's one party world leading of housing homelessness for this guy, yeah. So that's why you might have to you can about this. Now we got, well, at least we got this bill here. So yes, the California's bill on banned surveillance pricing. Well, okay. It says, here corporations have monetized ever-growing amounts of personal data, such as housing velocity and physical location. One red root, a poisonous tree of known surveillance pricing. Corporations have two different prices. A people surveillance of data. Now, surveillance pricing is a bad for privacy quality, even supports the California Bill, SB 2564, which will ban creepy practice. Now, how surveillance pricing works in 2025, the term condition was report practices and companies of surveillance pricing severance. Hundreds of other companies, including grocery stores and retailers, have found the surveillance about customers' history of physical location and shopping history of customer data of the vendor itself. The surveillance pricing surveillance preventer from third-party data brokers, customers, certain goods of personal data has done for target ads. And the sort of various pricing is over two customers prices of the same project of whether they over a new parent, whether the business is competitor or CFTC. Explain. Essential staff might need to do retailers because you have your proposal information has set targeted. Tier prices goods services from business location demographics down to new movements. Oh, great. Movements on the web page. It says CT is closed under the comments. Searching. Fortunately, California Search Bureau has a result of investigation of this practice. Researchers make supposed this pricing on best review of the zip code as higher price of the zip codes as the result. Agents were twice of the issue to trial price of the city brands rise in Chicago been lift of the higher price non-tribal populations of the 39 tourists of 1829, whether it's to hotel rooms, computers, Sabisco hotel rooms of the crisis, a store of elsewhere, but it is closer. YF hates surveillance pricing. This practice is harmful in many ways. First, surveillance pricing invades under privacy. Vendors offers a price after scrutinizing a personal data about who clicked online where travel online. Moreover, surveillance pricing stimulates of businesses to harvest how much data is possible. Businesses will surveillance pricing other businesses, results anyway data brokers, or return and sells others, and surveillance pricing. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, second, surveillance pricing is going to burden people of color. Other example of the described above, and pricing to Asian people, paying people for test prep services, older people doing writing services, living in non-white neighborhoods, more ride home. Third, surveillance pricing is opaque. Many people don't even know when they subjected to it. They do not determine the known reasons for the price offered. As a result, and Google will publish meaningful price of comparisons so consumers make choices. Regulators will be able to identify unlawful price practices. The EF of many groups of surveillance pricing. The defenders sometimes argue the surveillance pricing benefits customers because it can lead to lower prices. But some customers are trying to get lower prices because because of their personal data. Other customers will get higher prices but have no excited above. So these studies indicate that will be losers and winners on factories. Consumers are willing practices who loses or wins. I can see the data. Yet surveillance pricing is also based on false information. And then both losers and winners are affected of condition harmed by surveillance privacy human right. Not probably bought by sold a market, but for the reason if it's long opposed by private privacy rights and a company changes by higher price of customer of the pricing. Look at it thus, even if surveillance pricing or lower is do not any other way, corporations and customers pay their privacy. Now what the California bill will do is they can either turn California's privacy to Fourth Street retail shall not engage in surveillance pricing. The ban practice has commenced to page price of the customer and group of customers based on the personally identifiable information through the electronic surveillance. It is the information required for a third party. In other words, surveillance pricing is customerized personal information. This bill and two enforcement methods. First, local government bring enforcement actions and its matter remedies monetary penalties. Second, individual customers will bring their own enforcement lawsuits and seek remedies of the injunction of attorney fees. We are pleased to build this private right of action. It's an important of the law of the method enforcement. We have more of the private remedies, included the litigated damages. So this bill exemptions with surveillance pricing is allowed. First, it is rates of cost of providing different consumers. Second, of customers that dominate its service. Now, third, a discount of the that is formerly on one signing up a mailing list, such as a group of your program. Resident California's Assembly member Chris Ward and co-sponsors are Consumer Reports and Tech Quality, Consumer Federation, IPIC of the Government Labor Unions of the Bill of the Congress Assembly as consideration of the California Senate. Okay, now it supports that California bill. So surveillance pricing is one part of the larger problem. Corporations maximizing their profits and invading our privacy. There are two common business models: they harvest, collate, and store as much personal data as possible, and then monetize it through use and sale. EVFS generally opposes the problem of the framework. Privacy first, for example, it should be required business to minimize their data. And they must not collect, store, use, or disclose our data. As doing this during not necessary. Whereas as for likewise, laws should require business to voluntarily and consent before processing your data by legal bans, privacy schemes, or many dark patterns. So AB 2564 is a vacation and no pay privacy rule. It's best. Surveillance pricing is the corporate offer the exchange of the suspicion, surveillance of their personal data. The schemes allow people of the privacy exchange at lower price. This especially coincident for people lower incomes, with the risk of creating studies of privacy haves and have-nots. So you have suppose a bargain, register fire surveillance, these prices based on false information, enormous inferences. Surveillance pricing is very familiar to businesses. There's an EFF, okay, double F. Okay, governs it to ban both practices, if at all practices, as much of personal data as possible in order to later monetize it. Both practices that use businesses are data to dossiers about us that later use. Both practices of surveillance and dossiers are many of the dynamic choices by advertisements and prices we see online. In other words, it supports the above existing coming of the techniques of advising of other forms of targeting practices. A specific ban surveillance pricing in the AB 2564 would be very difficult to predict public form of the risk of causes. Corporate price setting of increasingly opaque, making it difficult for consumers regularly determine of the particular company of particular data of this assault, of the difficulty of the general laws requiring minimizing and consult moreover such laws of businesses of the data of such example call for to price limits because of advertising does not apply to businesses. A waste of missing like Tinder rely on such data. Finally, under the known risk on AB 2564, but the consequences that are users on individuation. This bill does not address any protected technology with any condition of retention. It discloses any personal data that's limited to be used and prices unnecessary board exemptions. So in some EWF respond join other group supports of California's AB 2564 and your support letter here. Oh. So that is the support. Okay, so that's the letter. Okay. So that's good. Well, I would say that bill is great and all, but we have to learn something here. I think you have to learn something here. And there are new bills coming in July 1st. I'll show you right now. So, and my gear, we got to this. So, I'm hopefully, me and my family and friends are voting for Steve Hilton, but if you want to vote for, you can vote for whatever you want. That's why. So. But we don't know who's going to win until November, so that's why. Now, let's talk about the new laws that will go into effect on July 1st. In California, yes. Okay, we got some right now anyway. You might like some of them, you might not like some of them. That's why. I don't know if I'm going to be liking it, or I don't know if I'm going to be liking it at all. Oh. So here's right here. So the new sweeping new laws will have this safety here. So let's take a look at here. So they got allergen disclosure, you got food labeling, okay, steaming ads, okay, and the security deposits, okay, deposits, hidden fees, and then they'll be lending cell phones. Oh. And now they're going to have all gender restrooms. Okay, and then vehicles, firearms, and then speaking of. So, here's what Google is saying. So, you got steaming ad value, food date labeling, you got law enforcement, manual action autonomous vehicles, autonomous vehicles equipped with two-way devices, particularly first responders. That's fine, yeah. But here's education child welfare. So smartphone bans that mean that school districts have education policies of students of prohibiting student smartphone use on campus during school day. So they're gonna ban smartphones at schools. I don't know if that's gonna be a good idea, but okay. And then gender neutral restrooms. Wow, okay. So they're gonna have gender neutral restroom for all students at schools. Oh yeah, elementary, middle, and high schools are required to have maintained gender neutral restroom for students. Well, I don't know. To me, I think it's gonna cause men seeing women at restrooms together. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea at all. But you tell me if this is a good law or not. You know, that's why. Because gender neutral restrooms, I don't know. This seems new to me right now. I don't know why people wanted this. You know, having a man see a woman in a restroom, that's one of the things to me with gender neutral restrooms. You know, you like this law because I don't know. Anyway, in Los Angeles, you got minimum wage increases at $16.04, and then hospital wages of disabilities are based on hotel workers. So, yeah, those are the things. But we need to talk about this one. So, what about the traffic laws? How about new traffic laws? Because I haven't talked about that yet. Oh, you got you got Bill 1777 on there, which is known as the compliance of autonomous vehicle manufacturers, and you got the include SME Bill 1127, which is manufacturers origin standardized students labeling. Okay. So let's go to the new traffic laws. And on July 1st. Okay? So you got the autonomous vehicle regulations, AB 1777. Okay, humans the drivers must two-way, and the traffic regulations enforcement of the DMV. You got school bus vehicles movement, AB 2496, which means the higher transport of the schools and criminal background checks of the records of the screenings. Well, now safety equipment. You got fire extinguisher, first aid kit. Yeah, and then you got this one, my experience with more of a law. Detailed them for you. Yeah, that's why. So those are the traffic laws. You might have to expect them. So yeah, you got AB 1777 go into effect for autonomous vehicle regulations, and then also you got school bus driver vehicle regulations on AB 2496. On school bus driver, yeah, background health checks. It's talking about it's called pass me a drug and alcohol screenings. That's what it's talking about anyway. So I don't know if you're gonna like these new traffic laws. You can let me know in the comments below. And now, what about e-bike? You got apparently no. Well, still got AB 2077 on e-bike. You got AB 2000. You got AB 2021 retirement on e-bikes on the such the retirement and existing bike rules still that. So that's why for physical devices. So yeah, that's just you know right now anyway. Under e-bike laws, you got ride rate and reflector mandate on flashing red lights on day and night. Okay, and you got speed hack app band, battery safety clarifications, helmet and age requirements on okay. Yeah, and then sanitation relief on for minors. So oops. Let me And you got the 70 watts modifications, and you got class 3. So yeah, helmet, and then I'd say restrictions. Yeah, that's fine. So that's not much anyway. But I just wanted to show you that because there are new laws coming on July 1st in California. That's why. I don't know. And to be the gender neutral restroom thing, I don't know. I think to me it's going to cause men and women to be in the same restroom. That's what's going to cause the gender neutral restroom law. I don't know what else. Anyway, and I don't know if that's a good idea or not. You can let me know about that on the comments below. But to me, now as for surveillance pricing, well, I don't know much. I think, to me, my vote is for, anyway, my vote is for Steve Hilton in November, but we don't know who wins until November anyway, because only, I believe what the Bible says anyway. If you want to know how to go to heaven, you can watch it on Rumble or BitChute. That's why. You could go to Legal Voting in California to help. Yeah, on Statement Prop 13. Also, voter ID required. And you go, so yeah, you can help the California Voter ID Initiative. And also, remember to vote early. That's why do early voting. And then do the voter guide on the primary system. So, yeah, you have to vote early if you're going to vote anyway. And if you want to help fight against ageification in the U.S., you can go to BadArniaBills.com. Yes, Mom?
Want your chili burgers in the kitchen?
Okay, Mom, I'll eat it soon, Mom. You can go to BadArniaBills.com and do that right here. You have to, yeah, you can call your, you have to call your local lawmakers, your representatives, to do that anyway. You can do that there anyway. Anyway, I have to go right now. But thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So goodbye. Adios, Zaijian.